Peace, peace, family. My name is Willette Pendergrass, and I have a little something to say based on Vimo, who is a white or from the white tribe, and Sika inspired um, the conversation of the talk. So, in love and peace, I'm doing my part, and it's about the races and our contribution to the prejudice that exists amongst us. So, in my part, I'm going to say what I'm doing. I've always loved everybody. Like genuinely love everyone. That's the reason why I don't eat animals because I love everyone. And I realize, and I've realized this for a long time because I've never had a white friend, like a friend. I have plenty of black friends, like genuine girlfriends that are really there for me. And I've always been the type of person that's been pro black. I've always been a person that's about upping the sisters and sisterhood and, not realizing how powerful at this particular time the female energy is. Just knowing that the black woman is God. I say that all the time. And um I'm doing my part because we need to cut out the races. And I understand why now. Like I would listen to pro black people talk and they would say we need to separate. And that's not true. That's not true. Like I would listen to it, I would hear it, and I've always had a wall up when it comes to really connecting with white people because my stance has always been that they are not to be trusted because I do know that if you read history, they are the most destructive race on this planet Earth. If you read history, like I may have been there in another life form. So I can only speak on my DNA experience in this present and transfer over what I feel to be true from any past experience. Yeah. With that being said, um, I always had a wall up when it comes to white people. Still loved, but always had a wall up because I've been subjected to racism before. Not blatant racism, but the type of racism where if you go look for an apartment and you're on the phone and you're talking, it is available, but then when you show up, it's no longer available. That type of racism. Or when you go into a store and you're followed, that type of prejudice and racist type of mentality. And when you go to seek information, you're treated with you're being brushed off. Not overtly, like they give you the minimum of what is required, but you have to do the most of the work. But yet if I was a white person, I would have been given more information than I probably needed, you know. It's a feeling, it's an energy, and we know energy exists. It cannot be destroyed. Oh, and let me just say this, based on um the forever something, which I love that term, the forever something, and knowing that the forever nothing does exist. I'm going to tell a brief story which doesn't really relate to the racism part, but that is a truth in my DNA that I always knew, not knowing how powerful it was. When I was about 4 years old, my my mother's aunt, who she was really close to, that she was named after, passed away. And I remember my mother coming to me and my sister because we're like a year and a half apart. And she was explaining to us that Aunt Loretta passed away and she's dead. So my mother was explaining what dead mean. And she said it's like you go to sleep and you never wake up. Now I'm 4 years old and I'm trying to relate to death because I saw how it affected my mother. And I remember closing my eyes and seeing darkness. See, I saw darkness. And I said, I am still here. So powerful, not realizing that's because it's energy. And the way that it loosely relates is because I really do feel that I have been born here on earth prior to this Willette existence, and I was either a African that was brought over in a ship. I think I was brought up in the ship, and I committed suicide and jumped in the water because I really have a fear of water. 3 feet of water, and I'm 5'1". Yeah, just putting my head under it. Anyway. So, and I think I was in those slave ships because I water bugs. Oh, they're the most disgusting. Mice I don't like, but um, meaning in my house. Like if I see them in a cage or I see them outside, oh, they're cute. But once you're entering the domain of my existence where I lay my head to rest, it becomes a nuisance. Same thing with water bugs, even though you very rarely see them outside unless you down south and they flying around, which is, kind of scary. Anywho, but I could see a water bug in my house and tears would run down my face because that's how repulsed I feel about them. That's because I really feel I was down in the bottom of those slave slips ships, and water bugs, roaches, mice, and rats were crawling and walking all over me. I really do feel that way, only because I saw a scene, and when I saw that particular scene of that water bug crawling on the butt of that naked slave, I just started wailing. So it seems as it's very in my DNA, my truth says that's very relatable and it's disgusting. So, anywho, and I can't take strong smells. Like I can't eat where it stinks. Like some, and to me, when somebody's house smell like dogs and cat, that stinks. I shouldn't walk into your house and be like, oh wow, you got a cat. Oh wow, you got a dog. To me, that stink. So I can't eat under those conditions also. So that's why I think I was in the bottom of a slave ship and I jumped over. And yeah, I'm saying all of that to say that at the hands of the Caucasian, there is a lot of destruction that has been led in this world, especially when you read the history books. Um, I have no doubt that there are some beautiful, loving, as a matter of fact, my mother's best friend is one of those beings where I know she's a beautiful, loving spirit. I know that. And she's Caucasian, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I would always say, but they're not to be trusted. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of black people that are not to be trusted. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of Asians that are not to be trusted. Every race has people that are not to be trusted. So I chose to put down that guard of not trusting other races and just not trusting people that are not to be trusted. Because every race have people that are not to be trusted. And I'm gonna take everyone at face value. And I have a little one, that I am a representative for. So, you can tell children something, you have to live by it because they lead by example. So I want him to be able to discern the good for me and bad for me, irregardless of the color of his skin. So that is my spiel on the forever something and the darkness that provides everything and the love and the peace. And if I could say one thing that everyone should take with them, is the power of love. The power of love. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. I wrote a poem about it. Yeah. Love is whatever you choose it to be. And in what works for me, well, it can work for you definitely. I choose to see love in every human being. I choose to love because love is like prayer to me. I choose to love because love conquers enemies. That's just a small clip of it. Anyway, peace, peace, family. Love, love, love. Joy, joy, joy. This is the Forever Something Willette saying, I'm out. Peace, I'm out.